Hey guys, so I was actually not expecting a champion reveal today, but it looks like we're getting Tristana. I'm curious if she's actually going to be a build spotter Bandle City card, but let's find out.
Bandle Gunner, Tristana, going in!
3 mana 1/3 just from Bandle City, so she's not multi-region. Quick attack, I have +1/+0 for each multi-region ally you've summoned this game. When you summon a multi-region ally, grant it +1/+0. Level up, you've summoned 4+ multi-region allies. Wow, that is really strange. Okay, but it's for this game, so she doesn't even need to see anything. If you played a multi-region ally on turn 1 and 2, she will come out as a 3/3 with quick attack that can grow. That's pretty strong, honestly. I mean, Build Spotter was what I expected with Tristana, but apparently we're just getting Bandle City. Interesting.
Loaded and ready to rocket.
Alright, +1/+1 for both. Or +1/+0 for both.
Engaging.
That's weird. I did not expect that. Your multi-region units cost 1 less. Play Manifest a multi-region follower. Just Bandle City is a 3 mana 2/2. So it's like the Mountain Scryer where everything costs 1 less. Okay, that's also really interesting. Huh. And I think this card actually looks super strong because you get to manifest as well. It's like it's literally Mountain Scryer.
Let's go! Grab my hat! Comb my mustache! Your esteemed mayor has arrived. Has the battle started?
I'm sure your speech will cheer us on regardless. Bandle City.
Okay, I couldn't read that, but that looked like the Allegiance card.
Job's done.
Pretty
Holding
cute.
position.
Deal 2 to an enemy. Okay.
Look at 'em, shaking in their boots.
Grow an ally to 3/3. That's something I would expect in Bandle City.
Vim, vigor, victory.
Okay. Stunning the
I got your
Yordles.
6 shortcakes. Love it, Big Mama. Let's bring this home.
Oh, the Owlcat from Ionia. Yep.
Blasting off! Bye-bye, bad guys!
Yeah, that's Tristana. Alright, that's pretty cool. Oh. I have +1/+0 for each multi-region ally you've summoned this game. When you summon a multi-region unit, granted +1/+0 and impact. Yeah, impact does seem the way to close out games for Bandle City for sure. Demacia's rallies, Noxus overwhelm. Seems like Bandle City is just impact. Okay. Pretty cool. So weird that he's just from Bandle City though.
Winners don't duck.
Oh yeah, impact too. When I'm summoned, if you've summoned units from 4+ regions this game, grant me impact 4 times. 8 mana 7/7. Yeah, that's gonna be a way to close out the game for sure. Seems like the Bandle Tree might be pretty good with Tristana too.
Bandle Gunners, this is why we fight.
The mayor. Alright, that's pretty cool actually. Not what I expected, but this seems to be the like the mono Bandle City deck kind of. Oh. Alright, we're gonna look at these in a little bit. I'll just switch over to a more to a better view, and then we'll discuss all these cards that got revealed today. Looks pretty good. I like the art too. Alright, let's see what they're all about. Okay, I'm just gonna go over these cards one by one, because what I used to do is I would look at the big image with all the cards, but I think it's better if you want to like skip ahead or go back, that you know exactly what card I'm talking about. So we're gonna start from the first card revealed, the champion, Tristana. Bandle City, she seems to be the one that kinda ties Bandle City together, like Shurima had Mono Shurima with the Ascendant. Bandle City seems to be all about summoning multi-region allies and playing allies or cards from other regions. We've seen that with the Bandle Tree, which is most likely something you're gonna see in Tristana decks, just to have like that alternate win con. And I actually really like this, because it seems to be a deck that curves pretty low, whereas Mono Shurima is a deck that tries to play more of a control style, getting to the late game, getting that Emperor's deck, getting insanely strong level 3 champions. Bandle City, obviously with Tristana is gonna be the one that ties all of this together, wants to just play a lot of small units, and then play Tristana to give them all impact and close out a game. I think that's actually a really cool direction for a region to take, and it makes a lot of sense for Bandle City too, because they're kind of like this alone we're nothing, but as a group, when we're together, we can overcome any obstacle. Yordles just work together, and I think it's kind of weird that we've still not seen any Yordle synergy. I was fully expecting that to be the mono Bandle City kind of deck that would just play with Yordles, but so far, nothing. We'll see if that comes back somehow, because if there is anything, it's obviously gonna be played in a Bandle City deck. For Tristana's level 2, it's what I just said. When she levels, she does give her the entire... Well, she doesn't give the entire board. You still have to summon the units. But we saw that one unit from Shadow Isles that summons a 3-2, or it's a 2-3 with impact, and it summons a 3-2 with impact. Then if you summon that after Tristana, or when Tristana's on the board, they get impact 2. That's already 4 damage to the Nexus. That's a Decimate, you know? Decimate has ended many games, and I think Tristana's gonna do the same thing. I'm still trying to comprehend all of this, really, because it's just not at all what I was expecting. I was just fully expecting Tristana to be a Bilgewater champion, but no. She is the one to hopefully make mono Bandle City work. But yeah, this is gonna fully depend on what her allies or what the cards in the deck actually do. I do have to say that I really like the fact that Bandle City seems to like closing out games by going wide with small elusives. Okay, I don't love that it's elusive, but you know, it seems to be very thematic for Bandle City. And impact. So they have that win con. And then there seems to be another win con with the Bandle Tree. And I think that's actually like a pretty healthy thing to have. Very thematic for Bandle City too, so I'm definitely a big fan of this. So far, from what I've seen, it doesn't look super competitive, just like Mono Shurima, basically. Right, and then we have Tristana's champion spell, Buster Shot. 4 mana slow, cost 2 less if you have a Tristana, or if you've summoned or played cards from 4+ regions this game. Deal 3 to a unit. The card Aftershock has only seen play as like a burn card. I don't think I've ever seen that card take out a landmark, maybe once since it's been released. So in a Tristana deck, this actually seems really, really powerful. 2 mana, deal 3 at slow speed though. From what we've seen with the way that Bandle City likes to play units and go wide, I don't think they want to really put in a card like this just to deal 3 to a unit. It doesn't seem like they care a whole lot about some sort of board control style. I don't think this will ever be main decked, but as a champion spell, this is fantastic because it already costs 2 less if you have a Tristana. That's just pretty good. It's a shame that it doesn't target Nexus, because then this would just be broken probably. But you know, it's a good champion card. It's very good at that. Then we have the Bandle City Mayor. 3 mana Bandle City, 2/2. Your multi-region units cost 1 less. Play manifest a multi-region follower. So yeah, like I said, this is quite literally the Mountain Scryer, but 1 mana cheaper. I really, really love the manifest keyword, by the way. I think this card is super strong. I'm a big fan of the discover mechanic, like it was in Hearthstone, where you just get to pick 1 of 3 cards. Runeterra is making it a little more limited. It says manifest 1 of these 3 cards. It doesn't just say like manifest a Bilgewater card, manifest a Demacia card, because that could literally be anything. No, it's going to manifest a multi-region follower. You know exactly what you're going to be up against. And I love the skill testing that cards like this do. Like, you have to pick the right card for the right situation. The better player will usually pick the right card more often and win more games because of it. That's why I really like effects like this in a card game. So I'm a big fan of this card. It's gonna see play in a Tristana deck, guaranteed. So yeah, I like it. Bandle Painter, 3 mana 2/2, Yordle. Augment, play, discard a card to create a multi-region follower in hand. That's also a super interesting card. I didn't expect any discard synergy in Bandle City. It's kind of like the Spacey Sketcher. It's not really comparable to anything else. And this seems to be a card that is going to be very good with the Bandle Tree. If the Bandle Tree gives you a card that you don't like, or that you... I mean, it could be from a region. I think the Bandle Tree gives you like from regions that you haven't already played. But if it's just a bad card or like too expensive or something, play the Bandle Painter on it and just try to replace it with something better. Seems pretty legit to me. Also, I really like that it has Augment. Actually, this is the second card from Bandle City that has Augment. And I think it kind of... I like that keyword is coming back in some capacity, because, you know, I like Victor. Augment just feels really good when you're growing a unit super big. Bandle City also likes to add cards to their hand. I think the 1 mana 1/1 with Attune that adds a prank to your hand is going to be played in a lot of Bandle decks. Having a prank to discard with this card to get something better potentially is actually super good. So I think this is going to be a card that sees a lot of play in decks that either play pranks or obviously Tristana decks, if they're going to be anything. I might be missing something here. I feel like there could be more, because Bandle City does like to add cards to their hand. This also activates a card like Hidden Pathways, where you have to add 2 cards to your hand in this game to go from 5 mana burst to 3 mana burst to draw 2 cards. Just seems super good for that. 4 mana Yordle, Gruff Grenadier, 4/3 with impact. Allegiance, summon another Yordle follower that costs 3 or less. Most Yordles are multi-region, so that is quite good for Tristana. I don't know how good this is. This seems like kind of a high variance card. Cost 3 or less, so you could be summoning a 1-mana Yordle, or you could be summoning a 3-mana Yordle. I think on average, Yordles are pretty small, so I'm not sure how much it matters. But this is definitely a card you're going to be playing in Tristana decks. Allegiance is so weird in Bandle City too, because of all the dual region they have. But I guess if the card on top just has Bandle City as one of the regions, you're good. These cards are so hard to theorize because this is such a unique deck, and it's the mono deck, or the Allegiance deck, I should say. I don't know if it's going to be mono. Nothing will probably ever be mono Bandle City because they have so many multi-region cards. But we haven't seen every card yet, so it's pretty likely that we're going to see a card that ties all of this together. And I don't think this is it just yet. Bandle Gunners, 8 mana 7/7 spell shield. When I'm summoned, if you've summoned units from 4+ regions this game, grant me impact 4 times. This is going to be a pretty good way to close out games. This reminds me of that card that looks like the Tasty Faefolk that also gets 4 impact if you've done something this game. 8 mana 7/7 with spell shield. This could pretty easily get like 2 attacks in, actually. What about like Poppy decks? Poppy decks are probably gonna play some of the Owl Cats, which is Ionia Bandle City. Poppy herself is Demacia Bandle City. Maybe Lulu or Tima would see play. That's Piltover. I'm thinking about Poppy because he's from Demacia and Demacia has rallies. If you can rally with a card like this, you're probably gonna win, and it also has spell shield, so it's pretty likely to stick around. Rallying with impact sounds pretty scary. It's not quite like elusive because your impact units are more likely to die because they can actually be traded into in combat, and they do need to strike to get the effect off. As sweet as this card looks, I don't think it's super good. Also, this girl on the left looks super creepy. I don't know, it's just the intense eyes or something. I don't know, but something's creeping me out about it. Yeah, this one's probably not gonna see a whole lot of play, and maybe that's for the better. Double tap, 6 mana fast from Bandle City. An ally strikes an enemy. If the ally is multi-region, it strikes the enemy again. This seems a little too expensive, and so far what we've seen, multi-region cards or Yordles have pretty low stats. I could maybe see this in a Poppy deck because Poppy with Demacia, she's gonna grow her allies, and then striking something twice could actually be pretty meaningful. I can't remember seeing any strike synergy so far with multi-region allies, but if there is a powerful strike effect, this card could actually be pretty low-key. I think this might be playable in Demacia decks actually with Poppy. I think that's honestly pretty good. This is a Poppy card. I can't see it being played anywhere else because the attack stats of other Yordles are so low. It seems like a decent Poppy card. 5 mana slow, Yordles in Arms. Give allies +2/+2 this round. If you summoned or cast cards from 4+ regions, give allies +4/+4 instead. If you've summoned or cast cards. So, okay. One deck that I have really liked playing has been Reaver's Row. I started that deck as a Targon Buildswater deck. I've also tried Buildswater Shurima. In the Targon deck, I started playing the Leona spell, the Morning Light, just because you go so wide with 1-drops and then you give them +2/+2 to end the game. With this card, if there is a way to play Bandle City with Reaver's Row, I would play this card as a 3-off. Seriously, you grow your board so wide so fast, and there is actually no way to really close out games with that deck. This would actually do it, I think. I really like this card. It's also super easy to cast cards from 4 regions or more because of Double Trouble and stuff. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this card. It's probably not very good, but it seems super sweet for memeing. So, Sunny approval. Group shot. Look at this picture. There's just a bunch of weird Yordles posing with like different weapons and different headgear. 1 mana fast. Deal 1 to an enemy. If you have 4+ allies, deal 2 instead. This says deal 1 to an enemy, so it's like the dagger from Katarina, the Noxus spell that deals 1, but it has an upside of potentially dealing 4 if you're going wide. This is another card. I think this is a little better than Tristana's spell because this has a chance to deal 2 to Nexus to close out the game, and then it's basically like a Mystic Shot. It's not going to be super hard going wide with Bandle decks. That seems to be their whole thing. Just play like a big board of small chumps. What's interesting is that if you have 4 allies and you try to do 2 to an enemy, if your opponent removes 1 of the allies, this is only going to do 1 damage. So there is a lot of counterplay too. I think this is a pretty good spell. It's like, you would want to play this in a mid-range or like control style deck, right? I don't really see how Bandle City is going to do that. It's so hard to figure out if this card is good or not. I don't think it's great. I think it's okay, but I have a hard time seeing you main deck a spell like this. It feels like it doesn't do enough unless there's like a very specific thing you want to do with it. I would just play Mystic Shot probably because keeping 4 allies, like playing 4 allies in the first place and keeping them alive just seems a little too hard. 1 mana burst. Purple Berry Shake. These spells are hilarious. Grow an ally to 3/3 this rounds. Look at his face. Yeah, this guy had one purple berry shake too many, it seems. Okay, this card is actually insane, though. Wait, what? Bandle City plays so many small units. Growing an ally to 3/3. Like, imagine this with Zoe or Teemo. It's basically like playing a sharp side on them, because they get +2/+2 this round. Like, Teemo decks have been competitive in Freljord, and it would be super annoying if they played something like Elixir of Iron to give them +2 health just to keep them alive. Now, when your opponent tries to remove your Teemo, when you're on attack, you're also going to deal 2 more damage. This is probably the combat trick that is going to make Bandle City playable. Literally all their units are so small, so this is a big deal. This card is most likely going to see a ton of play, but only in decks that rely heavily on Bandle City champions or units. For example, in Demacia, I think sharp side is almost always better, but for Bandle City, this is basically their sharp side. So yeah, a ton of potential for this card. I actually really like this. All right, and with that, we've covered every card that got revealed today. I would really love to hear if you enjoy these type of videos. I find theory crafting pretty difficult sometimes where you don't know every card that got revealed so far. Also, almost every YouTuber and their mom are doing it, so I don't always know how much value I can really add to that. But if you value my opinion as a meme deck builder, then please let me know in the comments, and I might do more of these videos for every champion that's going to get revealed after this one. So let me know, and I'll see you next time.